What's going on, guys? When he counts here, today I'm going to explain One Eye at Flumpty's 2 Hard Boiled mode and how you can win. So, One Eye at Flumpty's 2 Hard Boiled mode is way harder than the first Hard Boiled mode. But I'll explain to you how to beat it, as it can easily be beaten just like the first one. There are rules, and yeah, that's basically the rules that you have to follow. So this game is very different than the first one. As you can tell, there's this big green light switch in front of you that you can turn off at will. There's also no doors that you can shut, so that means that the characters can just easily walk in and kill you. But remember, this is a game, and Flumpty will not allow that, which is why there's a light switch. If any character happens to show up in front of you, you can turn the light off, and that means they will not see you and walk right past you. There's also a laptop battery that you can use. If the laptop battery runs out of power, you're going to have to wait for it to recharge, which is too big of a risk. But if you're not using it, the battery will go up. So you might as well just be as conservative as possible. Anyways, let's explain the characters. The characters are, well, they're kind of similar to how they were in the first game. Let me explain. Flumpty travels at random. Flumpty travels through every single camera. However, Flumpty does not travel through Cam 4 and Cam 5, but besides those cameras, Flumpty can travel through basically almost any camera at random, kind of like how he is in the first game. If you do not see Flumpty in any of the following cameras, that means that he is about to attack you. Because of this, he also has a Peekaboo animation, which is really useful. Instead of looking for him, I prefer to wait every time he moves from a camera. I wait and stare outside of my office. If I see him about to peek through, I turn off the light. So yeah, that's basically all you have to do for Flumpty. He just does that Peekaboo animation, and when his eyes are closed, you can turn off the light without him seeing you, which is why I mostly wait for him to come. The second character is the owl. The owl, well, he's kind of like the beaver, except he doesn't go through one hallway. He goes through two, and those aren't hallways, they're vents. So basically, if you see the beaver going through one of the vents, you shut the corresponding vent that he is going through. Both of the vents cannot be shut at the same time, as there is a wire connected to them that prevents them both from being shut at once. So you can only keep one open, which is kind of bad. But the owl is pretty easy to deal with as long as you keep your eyes on him at all times. Sorry, got something in my throat. Anyways, the next character that we're going to be talking about is Birthday Boy Blam. Birthday Boy Blam moves in a pattern, kind of like he did in the first game. Let me remember the cameras that he goes through correctly. He goes through Cam 6, Cam 3, and then Cam 7 in a pattern. Remember, Cam 6, Cam 3, and then Cam 7. Once he leaves Cam 7, he enters your room. You have to keep your eyes on him once he enters Cam 7 at all times, as the moment he leaves, you need to turn off the light before he arrives. Just like the first game, if he's in the Kevin Jr. outfit, that means he's about to attack you. Yeah, he's pretty simple to deal with, but he gets me the most, because he's unexpected sometimes. The next character that we're going to talk about is Grunkfist. Grunkfist starts in Cam 2, and on normal mode activates at 2 AM. On Hard Boiled mode, he activates only a few seconds after the night begins. There will be a timer that will go down 30 frames a second. Once the timer reaches 0, he will automatically appear in your office. Just like all the other characters that I mentioned before, the only way how you can stop Grunkfist from killing you is by turning off the light once his timer reaches 0. It's clearly best to turn off the light once his timer reaches to at least past 100, then you should keep the light off. The next character that we're going to talk about is Eyesore, and the last character, I think. I might be missing someone, but most likely not. Eyesore on normal mode, he usually moves at around 4 AM and only attacks you once. But on Hard Boiled mode, he's really aggressive. He's the fastest moving character, as he's shown to be the quickest, as he moves quick through all the cameras. So yeah, he's pretty dangerous. Eyesore, he starts on Cam 1, then goes to Cam 3, and then Cam 6. Once he leaves Cam 6, it'll only take a few seconds for him to reach your office. Like all the other characters, you basically just need to keep the light off for him and he'll leave. He takes up exposure by far the quickest due to him having the most eyes. By the way, let's talk about all the exposure levels and how fast the characters can take up your exposure. Grunkfist takes up your exposure the second fastest, slightly less than Eyesore. That is because he is closer to you and he can see you easier. Flumpty and Blam take your exposure up at around the same, due to them being far away from you, and them only having 2 eyes. Like I said earlier, Eyesore is deadly. If you get spotted by him, you'll be lucky to survive, as it takes him less than a second to kill you once he sees you. That is the reason why Eyesore is the most deadly, and because Eyesore has like the most eyes, so yeah, he's pretty deadly. Don't let him see you. You know, the big red guy. Speaking of red guys, there's also one more character that we need to talk about, and that is the Red Man. The Red Man is pretty easy to deal with. He's a pretty lame character. Basically, there'll be a pop-up that pops up. If you see the pop-up, press cancel immediately. If it goes all the way up, he will basically hack the computer, take full control of it, and kill you. So yeah, don't let him like take over your computer and stuff. He usually takes it over by malware and stuff like that. And by the character that just showed up a few seconds ago, the last one that we're going to explain about is Golden Flumpty. Golden Flumpty is basically like he is in the first game. You can just flip your camera up and he'll leave. He'll usually show up, not usually, he'll always show up on the right side of your office just staring at you menacingly. And the same sound will play once he shows up. The thing is, you can also turn the light off to keep him at bay. He is by far the most aggressive in this night. He's more aggressive than he is in the first game, and in this gameplay, he just didn't like me, and he decided to show up a lot at the worst times possible. As you can tell, I beat this game with no exposure by the skin of my teeth. It was pretty tough, but, well, I managed to beat it with no exposure somehow. Again. So yeah, I hope you guys are enjoying the gameplay back there. I explained the characters pretty quickly, so, yeah. As you can tell, I'm basically just nearly avoiding the characters. Because, like I said, these characters, oh, they're a mess, you know? They're fun to deal with, but not all the time. This game just boosts my anxiety levels up way too high. So, One Night at Flumpty's 2 is, like, by far one of the best One Night at Flumpty's games in my opinion. I like how you can keep the lights off and that will not let them see you. Yeah, you can't just keep the lights off all the time because the beaver can see in the dark. Not the beaver, sorry. The beaver died in the toilet. The owl can see you. The owl can see you, like, in the dark, of course, because he's an owl. Owls can see well in the dark, which makes sense. And the Red Man. Whatever the Red Man is, his species can see well in the dark as well. So yeah, those two can kill you in the dark. But other than that, the other guys that we're talking about can't. I like how the cameras have an importance unlike they do in the original FNAF games. These cameras are important. You need to keep track of every single character, you know. I like playing the game stealthily. I do not like to, like, use a strategy where, like, you check the owl and then you keep the light off. You can do it through the clown as well, but I just don't like that. I like keeping track of all the characters and avoid getting caught. So yeah, that's just my gameplay strategies right there. For those who want to play it tough. But yeah, man, like I was saying, this game is, like, by far the most interesting out of all times. Let me teach you some tips and tricks now, you know, because we're running out of time here. So basically, the owl, remember him, the guy that can go through cam 4 or cam 5? You can basically just check, like, once you see him gone from one of the cameras, you can check, like, one of the vent cameras. If you don't see him in one of the vent cameras, like, for example, if you don't see him in the purple vent, the purple or blue vent camera, then that means he's going through the red one. You don't even have to check that. That's a good thing, because if you don't check the vent that he's coming from, it'll take him longer to reach you. So that's pretty good. I like that idea. Eyesore, for some reason, it takes him a while to start crawling out of the pit on cam 1. Probably because he's struggling to get out because of how big he is. He's like the biggest character in the whole series. Yeah, the reason why the beaver isn't in this is because he also choked on a urinal, which isn't... I'm getting confused with the beaver. The beaver fell down the fucking toilet. He didn't choke on a urinal. What am I thinking? Look, my mind just mixed up, okay? I just woke up. Yeah, man, after countless citizens of New York have been abducted by the mysterious Flumpty Bumpty to play a survival hide-and-seek game, one has bested Flumpty and earned the privileges of becoming Flumpty's new best friend. So yeah, I can read pretty quick. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you found this video amazing and important, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll do the third game soon. Peace.